Okay, my name is Tina Stevens. I am the project manager for the Workforce Planning Board, and I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. I have a very busy hour that I want to spend with you and talk to you about this wonderful tool. I'm just going to turn off my camera and we're going to share my screen and we're going to get started. Okay, so the tool that you are seeing can be found on the Workforce Planning Board of York Region at Board.ca. It's called Work in York. And this presentation is brought to you by the Workforce Planning Board of York Region and Employment Ontario Service Providers. Work in York is a series of job finding and career development tools. So we have 3 job finding tools and we have 3 career development tools. We do have some other tools, but we're not going to be covering those today. It is located on the WP Board website, and it is free for job seekers and career changers to use to support their employment search. These tools are very user-friendly, and each tool has a quick one-page, quick reference guide that will support use of the tool if you get stuck, but I cannot stress how user-friendly they are. So you can access each of these tools by using the drop-down menu that's located under the Work in York tab on our navigation bar, or you can access the tool by clicking on the various tools. So I've just clicked on the job board, and then we also have on the gray navigation bar, we have an all tools button that will bring up all of the tools that you can navigate from there as well. So back to the job board, there are 3 job finding tools, and the first one we're going to look at is the job board. So this job board is searches over 40 different websites, job posting websites, both nationally, provincially, and locally. It's very current and updates every hour. So you'll see when I did the presentation this morning, there were 9,050 jobs on the board, and this afternoon there are 9,078 jobs. At any given time, there's between 10 and 12,000 jobs on this job board. And I just want to specify that these are strictly jobs that can be found in the region of York. Now, when you open the tool, the jobs that you see first are the jobs that have been most recently added to the tool. So there are several ways to use the job board. So what we've done is we've based this presentation on some of the feedback that you gave us in your registration form. So some of the occupations that you're looking for. So the first occupation I'm going to search for is administration. So you'll see that there are 952 jobs for administration, administration officer, office administration, reception administration, very broad occupation. But you'll notice also by this orange tab that administration has been classified as an in-demand job in York Region, and that is based on the fact that there are so many job postings for this occupation in the region. And I will show you some other in-demand occupations on another tool in a few minutes. So what you could do upon scrolling, you can start to scroll through and see and read the short descriptions and see if there are any that are of interest to you. Or you can narrow your search a little bit. So like I said, 952 jobs are a lot of jobs that would take a long time to go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the criteria in these drop-down tabs to narrow my search to meet my personal requirements. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to only search business, finance, and administration. I am going to search for full-time jobs. I'm going to search for a skill level B, or like a paraprofessional technical type job. And then I'm also going to say that I would like to find a job in Markham, because I live in Markham and I want to work close to where I live. So now I'm going to do a new refined search. So knowing that refined my search from 989 jobs down to, or sorry, 952 jobs down to 89 jobs. So I can now start to, again, look at different postings and read the descriptions. Now I have two options. I can go to the job posting, so I can open that job posting and click on it and open it. Oh, that one is expired. Sorry, I knew that would happen. So I'm going to search another job, and this is a job that's on Indeed, and I can start to look at the job in more detail. And what happens that is every time I click on a job to review, it will open in a new window or a new tab. I never navigate away from the job board, and I think that's really important. However, say I'm just sort of gathering jobs that I want to look at. I'm just in a review mode right now. I have the option to save that job, and I can save it to my personal profile. My personal profile can be found up here on the gray navigation bar. I'm going to talk about that, saving jobs to that a little bit later. So another one that we saw, a request that we had, was childcare. Childcare assistant was another big one. Again, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to do a clear because I still have all that previous criteria. So now I'm going to search. And so there's 176 jobs in our job board for childcare assistant, childcare educator, childcare assistant center supervisor. So again, you can go to each job post if you want, or you can save the job post. And again, I'll talk about that later. So the next tool that I'm going to go to is very similar to the job board. It's just a different way of looking at jobs. So I'm going to use the all tools, and I am going to click on the job map. So the job map is a tool similar to the board. However, jobs are plotted on a map of York Region. And I just want to preface that the tool can only plot jobs that have openings or job postings that contain an address. So not all the jobs in the job board are located on this map. Again, it's just a different way of looking, especially if you're someone that needs to rely on public transit. So keyword search will return results. So I'm going to type in carpenter because someone had expressed an interest in carpenter jobs. So what you'll see here is a single briefcase identifies that there's only one position. So this is Star Builder, carpentry fabricator workshop, and I have the option of clicking on the website from this window. I can go to the job post. I do not have to go back to the job board. I can access the job posting here. Okay, so and then in Vaughan, there were 3 different jobs. And so there's another one here, a carpenter for Alliance Store fixtures. And I'm just going to, so now what I've done is I have just increased, I've gone into the map. So I start to see names of roads and things. And one of the things I wanted to show you is that one of the beauties of this map, we've plotted some other resources that are related to your employment search. So for a person who it relies on public transit to get to and from their job, you can plot your travel time or plot your route and determine the travel time required to get to and from that job should you be successful. So all of the YRT map, bus routes are plotted on this map. So I'm just going to make my map smaller because I want to show you a few other things that may be of interest to you. So things, I'm going to unmark all the jobs. So one of the things that we're very lucky to have in York Region is if you are a person that would like to to develop a career or create a career in skilled trades in the construction industry, we're very lucky that York Region has 4 different training sites or 5 different training sites in York Region. So we have the Georgina Trades Training Institute up in Sutton that can give you some training. We have the Leuna 506, which is a big unionized training center in Richmond Hill. That does construction trades. We have the Electrical Alliance Apprenticeship Training Alliance. They are part of the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, and they train right in Richmond Hill. We have the College of Carpenters and Allied Trades. Allied Trades are floor covering, so hardwood, vinyl, carpet, and as well as carpenters in the Vaughan area. And then we have another Leuna, same union, but different sets of construction trades. So if you are a person that is interested in developing a career, and that's a great career to get into, there's skilled trade jobs are very much in demand in York Region and all of Ontario, and you can have very successful careers in skilled trades. You can reach out to those training centers through their website, and you can apply directly to their website. Now, one of the other things that we know is really important for people who are working and have young children is daycare. So these are all of the daycare centers in the region. And again, each one will open, and you can go to their website, you can email them, you can contact them by phone and to see what services they have to offer, if they've got openings, et cetera, et cetera. So that's another benefit using this map. Now, if you're a person that's struggling a little bit, or you'd like some help with your job search, what we've done is we have plotted all of the Employment Ontario service providers on this map, and there's I believe 11 different service providers throughout the region. Where I'm sitting in Aurora right now, so we've got RNC Employment Services that is located in Aurora, and it has the website. You can email, you can phone, you can make an appointment. I want to just remind you that these are free services. These agencies are funded through the Government of Ontario, and they're free to both job seekers and employers. And so you can find the one closest to you and reach out to them. Another thing, if you are, say, new to Canada and you're looking for some help with your English language, or you just want to get more comfortable with it, these are all of the ESL and link sites. And most of this English training is free for people. So that's, that is an excellent service for people who are new to York Region. And then also one of the last ones is if you require some help with literacy and basic skills, like preparing for your grade 12, to write the grade 12 equivalent exam, or need computer training, or just, need some literacy and skills upgrading in general. Also too, there are college prep is offered. That's offered through Georgian College. Oh, that's the Literacy Council, sorry. Georgian College offers, that's the one in Simcoe, in Bradford, their learning center. So there's also college prep through Georgian College in Newmarket as well. So that is very helpful. So now going back up to my All Tools button, I'm going to show you the last job board, which is the Work From Home Job Board. So this job board lists over 1,000 different employment opportunities that have a remote work component to them. This covers just so you know, I am going to be taking some questions at the end of this presentation, and we'll go through the chat. So just put your questions in a chat and we'll discuss. So this job board represents jobs across the province of Ontario. You use a keyword search. So we're going to search for with some people looking for human resource opportunities. So I'm just going to search. So there are over 309 different human resources positions, whether it be manager, coordinator, assistant. So it's a matter of opening them. Again, they'll open in another window. You just hover over the title. It becomes a live link, and a new window will open, and you can see if any of these positions match your skill set. Somebody else was looking for data entry, and a lot of data entry jobs are being offered from home these days. So 78 jobs are offered across the province. You'll have to check the actual job posting to see where that job, the home base, and so that's that board. And another big one I can tell you is customer service. $524 jobs for customer service. So, and especially for people who have more than one language, those are very coveted jobs. They on average pay upwards of $10,000 more than someone who only has one language. And we are very multicultural in the province of Ontario. So there are lots of different languages that are required. Now, the other thing that I just want to point out, and this is something that I recently learned myself, is that there is a new term for customer service, and it's called customer success. And so there are 150 jobs for customer success, customer service, and additional on the job board. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open another tool called Career Explorer. So what this is this tool is ideal for people who want to find employment that matches their skill set, or an occupation where their skills are transferable. So what this is right now that you're looking at is every single job in the region of York. And as you can see, there are so many jobs, they don't fit all on the screen. Now, I had mentioned that administrative assistant or administration was an in-demand job in York region, and indeed it is. But all of these circles that are dark blue, those are also in-demand jobs. And what determines a job is in demand is by the number of job postings that there are in the system. So this small number at the bottom of the circle indicates that, so for instance, for bookkeepers, there are 84 jobs in the back end of the tool. So that makes it an in-demand job. So I'm just gonna, so what we're gonna do is we are going to filter. You can use a keyword search, or you can filter by sector, and I'm gonna filter by education. We had some people who identified that they want to become say a teacher. So I'm just going to enlarge this a little bit. And so just going to look around here. So what we have is we have a childhood educator. And the other thing that I want to show you is you can change the size of the bubbles depending on whether you're interested in salary or whether you're interested in the number of job postings. So we've got childhood educator has 68. We've got an elementary teacher is an in-demand job, and it has 20 job postings in the system right now. And I thought we had another job. So I'm just gonna do by salary to see if I could see what they are. We had some. Oh, kindergarten teacher, elementary kindergarten teacher. Yeah, that was it. Sorry. And early childhood educators, we had that one as well. So let's just staying on this screen for a minute. So say I want to look at elementary kindergarten teachers. See, so I want to show you that kindergarten elementary teachers is a pathway to a secondary school teacher. It's not an in-demand job. There's only one job. So the lines can show you what your pathway is, and an elementary and probably both a secondary school teacher is a pathway to a school principal. There's 4 jobs. Let's open that one for a minute. So we know that school principals and administrators of elementary and secondary education is NOC code 0422. I'm going to talk about NOC codes a little bit later. So what this does is this gives me a description of what a principal or administrator would do. And then I'm curious about salaries. So I know that the median annual salary for this position is $99,000 a year, or $47 an hour. And there are currently 4 active job postings. So I can access these job postings straight from this tool. I do not have to go back to the job board. So I'm going to close that. And then, so I'm just going to close this for a minute. And then I'm going to open elementary teacher. So elementary teacher, I just want to put most of these, when this window opens, contain a list requiring the skills, identifying the skills that are needed for this occupation. And the reason I mention this is because it's very important, because these skills are pulled from the actual job postings in the back end. So they're very legitimate skills that you should have on your resume or be aware of, or working towards, if this is in fact the occupation that you would like to follow or like to be successful at. So again, you know, these are the ones that we've gotten from resumes that employer have identified that they're looking for. So the next tool that I am going to show you is the tool called Career Library. Okay. So what this allows, oh, sorry, I didn't go into Career Library. I'm going to go into the Career Library now. So what this allows someone to do a really deep dive into looking at an occupation. So I mentioned about the NOC code. And so this is all of the 10 one-digit NOC codes. And what a NOC code is the government of Canada, or has organized Canada's entire labor market or employment market into different categories. They're called national occupation codes. And this is how the federal government collects data about our labor market. And you'll a lot of times, the part of it is done when we undertake like complete a census form and things like that. So the Career Library is organized by 4-digit NOCs, right? NOCs. Right now we're looking at the 1-digit NOC. Now somebody had identified that they're interested in policy research. I do not know all the NOC codes. There's thousands of NOC codes. So my recommendation to you is simply Google what is the NOC code for and put in the occupation title. So I did that prior to our presentation today, and I know that a policy researcher is NOC code 4164. So I'm going to, right now, the 1-digit NOC code for number 4, it currently has 518 jobs attached to it in our job board. So I am going to click on and explore, because I want to get into right down to a policy researcher for that person who's looking for that. So I know it's 41, so I'm going to be looking under number 41, and it's now put this in to 85 jobs in under this particular knock code. I'm going to do a deeper search. And I know it's 4160. So 4164. So we're down to 38 jobs. So I'm assuming it's not an in-demand job. So 4164, social policy research consultants and program officers. So there's only 3 jobs. But if you're, say, a student in high school and you want to, you're trying to make decisions about what you're going to do in post-secondary, then this is a great tool for you to explore, to look at occupations, look at what the labor market looks like for that occupation to help you. And it gives you a really deep overview of what that occupation, so you can decide whether it's something that's really of interest. One thing I just want to, before we move forward, I want everybody to pay attention to this follow button. So this is an occupation that if I want to follow, I click on this button and I can add it to my personal profile. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. So I want to learn more about 4164. So social policy researchers, consultants, and program officers. So what it does is it provides an overview about this occupation. And again, another opportunity to follow this occupation. And if I want to share this, say I have a friend who is looking for a job, I can share this by opening a window and, oops, that's not what I really wanted to do. Shoot, sorry about that. I'm going to see if I can go back. I don't know why I did that. So I can share this through email. So what this job does is these are all the duties that entail under this knock code for these occupations and the working conditions. And then the other thing that I want to point out is in our labor market, employers don't really list jobs by knock code. So what we've done is to make this a searchable database is we've included all of the alternate job titles. So you may be looking for a policy researcher, but another employer may be looking for an advisor for the integration of persons with disability. So if you're interested in writing policy for people with disabilities, this is the type of thing that you could search for. So all these jobs, there has to be at least 100 of them, they fall under knock code 4164. So what else can I learn about this? I want to know how much this job pays. So salary and income. So this has been collected from 19 different samples of job posts on the back end of this tool. So we know we have a low of about 35,000, and then we have a high of about 100,000. And here's your 45, 53rd, 49th, or sorry, your 25th percentile, your average, your median, and 75th percentile. You can also look at what this job pays for depending on your education. I'm going to say 65,000 for secondary equivalency certificate. I'm going out on a limb here, and I will tell you that I believe this number is still in this category because we still have a lot of baby boomers still in the labor market that joined the labor market 35 years ago when university designations in college was not as required back then. And I think we'll start to see this number move away from this number as people retire. So it looks like right now university is definitely a requirement for this position. So the other thing that I can show you is I can access, there was only 3, I believe, I can access the active job postings from here. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows, see the save button. If I want to save and look at these jobs later, I can. So the other interesting thing is I can see what industry these jobs can be found in. So public administration, no surprise there. Professional, scientific, and technical services, a little bit of a surprise there. Some other services, some healthcare, not really a surprise there. So what I love about this, maybe not particularly for this particular occupation, but a lot of times people are quite surprised at the number of different sectors that occupations can be found in. Now, there's some really good demographic information. So for instance, a career path, where can you go from here? So you can go into, it looks like business development officers, marketing researchers, and consultants are a jump from this there. And then we could also look at employment type. So are we looking at full-time, part-time? Looks like majority, more, looks like more part-time than full-time. And then the other one, that class of worker, I'm thinking that there might be a little bit of self-employed as well as full-time employee status in this. So this is the one that is most important in my opinion, is who are the employers? Who are the people that have posted for this job? So we've got the top 56 regional employers who have posted for this job in the last 12 months. So we have Pillar Education Group. They currently have, I'm sorting by active job posts, but you'll see the municipality of York currently has one, but they've hired for 49 people in the last year. So these are and we only have 3 jobs. So there's your top 3 jobs: immigration and citizenship service. So what I just want to show you is I can click on this employer. And then what I can do is I can either access their website or I can follow this company. Again, going to explain what that means to you shortly. So I just want to go back to, how do I get sorry, career library. I think that's going to take me right out of it, but anyways, yes, it did take me right out of it. Usually I can use my back arrow. It didn't work that time, so I apologize about that. So that is it's a great tool. I love the career library. I can just jump around and explore different things and really get an idea of where my passion is for my career. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the job portal. We are now, this job portal is our newest tool. So it's the job portal and resume builder. And I have created an account for myself already. So I'm just logging in. So what I want to open is my profile. So what this is that this tool will take the information that you input and it will provide you postings that match your skill sets, and it will email them to your personal account. So to get started, you will need to register an account and set up your personal profile by entering a few pieces of information. So you know, my name and my contact information, mostly my email. And then they will want to know what my employment status is. So whether I'm currently employed or not. What's the drop-down menu? Unemployed, not participating, employed full-time, employed part-time. And then also what it's going to ask me is for my past, current, and my target occupations. So going to use drop-down menus, and I'm just going to click on things that I've done in the past. Okay, so there's the drop down menu, and I can scroll through, or I can start to type and things will come up. So say teacher, elementary, I can tick that box. Okay, so very all self-driven. Now, one of the things I just want to remind you, it's really important that you click the receive job feeds updates by email. And you can either receive them every week or every day. And then the other thing, if you're currently working with an Employment Ontario service provider, those were the service providers I showed you on the job map. You can inform us by ticking a box, and then you can just simply do a simple save. So what I'm going to do now, the next thing I'm going to do is add my skills. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm going to show you following. So you can follow occupations, companies, or sectors. So it's just, so these are all of the occupations that I am following. So, and you can follow as many or as few that you want. So what you can do is you can either start to search from this big long drop down menu that goes on forever and ever, or you can type in a few letters. So you've got, started to type in customer service, and I have already identified that I have ticked on the plus sign for customer service and information service supervisors. So that's already a job that I'm following. So again, you can continue to scroll down. So you can see all the different, so for instance, say I want to do something in construction. So I can do a construction manager. I could add that to my profile. Every time I add that to my profile, I get a green box notifying me that it's been added. I'm just going to unadd that one because I'm not interested in following that. Next, I want to do companies. So remember when we were back in the career library and I went to the municipality of York and it said, do you want to follow? So there's where I would click on those employers and say, yes, I want to follow. Yes, I want to follow. If you don't want to do that, again, you can search alphabetically. It doesn't look like it's alphabetically. So I don't know how that I'm not sure how that is. That would be a long search. So I would, if there's a company you know that you want to follow. So I'm going to say, let's type in Magna. So, and then, so it's going to come up with all the divisions of Magna International or Dortech, a division of Magna, or something like that. So that's an easier way to add employers that you want to follow. So I really suggest that you use the career library to find the occupations you're interested in, find the employers that have hired for those in the last year, and start adding those employers to start following those employers. So if they put out job postings, you will be notified. Okay, sectors. So right now I'm following the administrative management, schools and institutions, support services, business associations. So this one is pretty easy too. So for instance, if you want to type in construction because you want to follow, you want a job in construction, residential building construction, industrial, commercial, or say you want to follow education. So lots of, so to show you that I'm already following education support services because it's not a plus sign, it's a check mark. So, or say manufacturing. So lots of manufacturing in York region. We have a large food and beverage manufacturing sector. We also have like wood manufacturing and some clothes and things like that. So if you want something in manufacturing, this is a great way to get it. So next time, what we're going to do now is we are going to go to my skills. This is a really important one. Just opening my skills. So what I did was, after I added all the occupations in, the system looked at all the skills related to those occupations, came up with a list of things for me to go through. And these are, I think I've got about 57 skills that I've identified that I have. Now, they won't apply to every single job all the time, but these are skills that you know, I've been in the labor market for quite some time, so I've been able to develop them. And then what we also then have is, this is an additional list that, based on the skills that you've identified and the occupations that you're following, this is an additional list of skills that you may be able to check. So off the top of my head, having a quick glance, I don't really see anything that I would check off. However, I have a drop down search skills here, and I'm not sure that I added, say, Microsoft Word. So I wanted to do a search, and what the system told me is yes, because there's a green check mark, I have Microsoft Word already added to my list, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. So now we're going to go into our job feed. So, excuse me. So these are all jobs that have been sent to my into my job feed based on the criteria that that I have identified, and I can now review these jobs and identify if I would like to go to the job post, or I want to save the job post. It's going to save it into my saved jobs. So this is, think of this as sort of like a preview. Like, I'm not really interested in registration service representatives. So I know it's an in-demand job, but I'm going to get rid of this one. So I'm going to hide this one because I'm not going to apply for it. It's not of interest, so I'm not going to pursue it any longer. But now I just want to talk a little bit about, we've talked a bit about this job is in demand. So that's jobs that are in demand in our region are identified by this orange tab. Okay. And then also a sales and marketing coordinator. I want to, I'm quite interested in that one. And the purple tab identifies that it's a career jump for me. So this would be kind of like a next step in my career. So I think I want to save that job. I want to look at that job in further. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my saved jobs. And this is a list of ones that I have identified that I want to follow. And so I can just see if I can find that that other job. So let's just look at, for instance, let's look at this channel marketing specialist. So it's identifying by a green tab what my skills match is. So right now it's a 50% skills match. So I tell you that if it's 50% or higher, you're going to get a green tab. If it's 49% or lower, it's going to give you like a brown tab, sort of as a, hey, you might want to consider, if you want to pursue this, you might want to consider working on some of your skills so you can add more to your resume to make you more competitive. So I have the choice now to go to the job post. Or if I decide, no, I don't want to do this at this time, I'm going to unsave this post and it will remove it from my saved jobs. But I'm curious. I want to look at the skills breakdown. So I've opened the skills window, and I'm looking at knowledge skills, and it says that there's a gap that I have not checked marketing strategies. And I don't feel that I can check marketing strategies. So I might consider looking at taking, I don't know, a night school program, or seeing if there's something online that I could do to feel more comfortable or confident that I can add marketing strategies to my list of skills. So I'm going to now collapse that. And then there is one more skill, or one more tab that you can be, I want to make you aware of. So what that tab is, it's a gray tab that says related career. So what that does is it lists a job that is different, but in the same family of occupations. So for instance, that may be, you may be a courier driver, but you may get notification for a related career, such as, say, a limousine driver or a dump truck driver or something like that. So that is the other option. So now what I want to do is say I'm ready. I've got some jobs I want to apply for. I need a resume. So I am going to go back to my menu on the left-hand side, and I'm going to open resumes. Now, I've been working with this tool for a bit, so I do have 3 resumes, but you're going to start off with your very first resume. So I'm going to name my resume, and usually when I name a resume, I would connect it to the name of the job that I'm applying for, so I can save it in my files. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to continue. So using this drop down menu here, I'm going to populate my resume. So you're going to start off with your resume headline. Well, what the heck is that? So now I open this information window, and explains and makes a suggestion about what the statement that I should make in my resume headline. I also want to point out that anything with a red asterisk, you must complete that those boxes. You don't have to add your address and phone number. I would be inclined to, because otherwise it would be very difficult for the employer to reach out to you. I do not feel comfortable putting in my personal mailing address, so I wouldn't do that personally, but again, that's up to you. And then we're going to write a summary of our experience. And then as you write everything, you can just save, and then move on to the next one. So we're going to go skills. Now I have 59 skills, and it's going to ask me if I want to add all 59 or not, but it's also suggesting that I should be, depending on the occupation, it suggests I add between 4 and 10. So I need to be able to cross-check skills that are on the job posting with skills that I have in my skills list, and then I would go ahead and add those. So I'm going to say no at this point, and then we're going to go into our add my educational background, and then you can add some custom sections. So if you want to add awards, like or if you have multiple languages, that's a really big one. You can do a custom section. If you're say, yeah, it's just you're a summer student and you're just starting out, if we've got some volunteer experience, that would be amazing. And if you would like to include references right away, you can do that too. So the other thing that I want to show you is that resumes are very personal things. So what appeals to one person doesn't necessarily appeal to another. So you have the choice to choose between 9 different templates. So you can just click on the one that you want to use, and it will set the whole thing up for you. So I'm just going to go back to my resumes, and I'm just going to quickly click on one of my partial resume. And then I'm going to edit this resume, click on edit, and then I'm just going to show you a quick preview of what it could look like. It's not complete, but it gives you this very professional looking resume that's laid out nicely and very easy for the employer to read. And so if I'm satisfied with my resume, I can then save my resume, and I can download the resume and save it in my files. I believe it downloads as a PDF, and I can save it in my files, and then it's ready to upload for when I want to apply for a job. So the other thing is, the first time you create a resume, it will take the most time to prepare, but once the initial resume is complete, future resumes can be duplicated. So I do not have to start again from scratch. I can just tweak my resumes depending on the job that I'm applying for. Okay, so that is most about resumes. I'm just going to go back. The one thing I want to mention about resumes, though, is sometimes creating a resume can be really challenging or even daunting for some people, especially if you haven't done it in a number of years. And resumes, they kind of change over time. But if you feel like you need help with developing your resume, you can jump back on the job map, and you can open the button that said Employment Ontario, and you can identify the Employment Ontario office that's closest to you, and then you can reach out to them. Again, these are free services that are provided for you to help with job search supports, resume preparation, and next steps in your employment search.